Everyone, special welcome to the commissioning of some beautiful JP candidates who, after you've left, you will be, whatever your name is, Justice of the Peace of Kingston. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. Please be upstanding for the arrival of our acting Governor General, the Honorable Stedman Fuller, Custos Rotalorum for the parish of Kingston. And as I said, he is the acting Governor General. You may be seated. I now ask you to welcome our Master of Ceremonies for this morning's proceedings. She's the Honorable Cynthia Cook, Justice of the Peace and Chairman of the Justices of the Peace of Jamaica, Kingston Association. Welcome, Mrs. Cook. Good job, John.
Greetings. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this commissioning of JPs. I was once doing the same thing as you are doing now. I welcome you first because it is your show today. So I'm welcoming the people who are here to support you, your guests. And then now I'll welcome everyone else formally. We want to welcome our guest speaker, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, KC MP, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. And we, don't you feel like that? But there's a difference between a graduation and a commissioning. A graduation, you learn all the skills, the tools that are necessary, that when you leave, you're going to use those tools in whatever endeavor you choose. However, what is a commissioning? What's the difference? Anybody knows? Anybody? Nobody ever looked it up? You come into a commissioning and you don't look it up? Well, I looked it up. And they say a commissioning is the act of granting authority to someone or something. So it means to charge, to give you a charge, someone with a task, giving them the authority to do something in an official way. So you're getting that charge from the Minister of Justice and through our custos to go out there, inspect the lockups, to go out there to sign documents, to go out there, welcome the informal returning residents, migrants, and all the duties that you were trained to do while you attended those classes. You have the authority to go out there and do these things. One of the things I know that you learned is that being a justice of the peace is all about service. Is that what you learned? Service. And you know that little song comes, if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. So that is why when you leave here, you will be remembered. Because they said, there's a place up there for people like you. Yes. Another thing you should have been one of the outcomes after you finish this training is that you feel a part of a community, a camaraderie of people just like you. We're going out there to serve, and we have the same feelings about our fellow human being. And we feel that we think of each other and what you do unto others, you should do it feeling that they were you. So this morning, I'm not the guest speaker, but I am welcoming you into the family of justices of the peace. We will be giving you information as to how you can not just sign papers, because that is not what we're all about, signing documents. There are so many areas of service that you can sign up for. And at the end of the year, you have to give a report according to what you have done for the year. And we want to say, if you don't do those reports, we're going to deregister you after. You think that sounds good? I think so. Because you say you're a JP, and when we are looking for a JP to do all these things that we have to do, we can't find them. So we want to know that you register and you tell us what you have done for the year. And I am here because I was not elected, but the president died, the chairman died. And you know, they say, the king is dead, long lives the king. So that is how I am in this position. So we will move on now, and I will invite Reverend Adolphus Smith, Justice of the Peace candidate, to say a word of prayer to start the proceedings.
Thank you very much. Can I invite you all to stand? Shall we pray? Our gracious God and Heavenly Father, indeed we are thankful for life today. We are thankful, O God, that you have provided us with so many wonderful things, including the gift of life. You have brought us here safely. We give you thanks. You have brought our guest speaker here safely, the Honorable Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck. We are thankful for him. We are thankful, Lord, for our custos, Honorable Stedman Fuller, Acting Governor General, and his team that has put all of this together. We are happy for this commission ceremony, and we are thankful for the privilege, oh God, to be justice of the peace and to help our brothers and sisters wherever they are in the island of Jamaica. What a wonderful privilege and opportunity to serve, and to serve well. We place the activities of this commissioning service into your hands and ask that everything will be done to your name's honor and glory. Be with those who are on their way, may they reach safely. And at the end of the day, may we give you the praise, the glory, and the honor, because we ask it in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Smith. And now we will invite our Acting Governor General in his portfolio as the Custos Rotalorum for the parish of Kingston to bring us some remarks.
Thank you so much, Honorable Cynthia Cook, Board Chairman for the Justice of the Peace of Jamaica Kingston Chapter. Minister, the Honorable Delora Chuck, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, past presidents of the Kingston Chapter of the Justice of the Peace Association of Jamaica. I see Honorable Mark Gonzalez and Colonel Price, all the members of the executive, Senior Justice Dr. Paulette Francis McGregor, who helped to organize this function, candidates for installation, a pleasant good morning to you all. The chairman invited me to speak to you as Deputy Governor General, but I'd like to reclaim my title as Custos and address you as such. And today I have the distinct honor of commissioning Jamaicans of all ages and background to be Justice of the Peace for the parish of Kingston. I know there are some of you who have been waiting for a while. And some of you wondered if it would have reached this day because of so many delays. But I want to welcome you this morning. And I know that I have a court of persons here from a variety of groups from Jamaica. And you're here today for the simple reason that you have met the basic requirements to become a Justice of the Peace. You are within a certain age. That is, I think, Minister, you're more than 23. You're able to read, speak, and write English. And that's important. And additionally, your persons who the Governor General must be satisfied are of unquestionable integrity. That you command the respect and confidence of your local community. That you have given good service to your community and wider Jamaica, and demonstrated the potential for continuing to serve. And finally, and most importantly, you would have successfully completed the requisite 18 mandatory hours of training. In all of what I have said there can be some slip-ups in the selection, because we are told to recommend for Justice of the Peace persons of unquestionable integrity. And quite a few times, in the process of doing this selection, we have missed out on the zenith of what we want. But all of you here who are being commissioned have undergone an intensive qualifying training course, which was conducted via the virtual modality, organized by the Justice Training Institute, and I believe conducted by the very able puny judge, Mrs. Sonia Bertram Linton. I know that she took you from the history of the Office of the Justice of the Peace to this point of being here to take the oath of office and allegiance. Importantly, you have freely offered yourselves to be trained and to serve this country voluntarily as Justice of the Peace for the parish of Kingston. You freely offered yourself. Nobody forced you. And we told you that it's voluntary. So if any of you here didn't quite get that right and wish to abort this exercise, you can let me know. Because in a few moments I shall have the honor of addressing you all as justices of the peace and welcoming you to the fraternity of justices for the parish of Kingston. But as we welcome you to the fold, though, I want to remind you that you're assuming a very important role in this country. Sometimes justices don't recognize the important role that they play. You are at the forefront of the fight against crime and violence, corruption, and injustice in this country. In many regards, you are the foundation of the administration of justice, order, and peace in our nation. And if you fail to recognize this or renege on this sacred responsibility, the country suffers. Institutions at all levels depend on you to be truthful and honest whenever you place your seal or stamp on your signature on any document. It's important. Your fellow citizens look to you for guidance and leadership. Regrettably, we continue to experience a serious problem of persons in the fraternity acting in breach of their commission and bringing the entire body of justices of the peace into disrepute. I think you have experienced that yourself. Just yesterday, I was talking to a young man from the country, and he was lamenting the fact that oftentimes he has documents which need to be verified or witnessed, or photographed to be signed. And he has to make sure he finds the money to pay the person for it, because they're asking you first if you have the money before you do it. Any such activity should not only get the attention of the custodians in the parish where they occur, but should also be of serious concern to the police. So I say to you that the fight for justice and against illegal activities and corruption begins with you. And I'm aware that it's a volunteer calling, but I already stated that you freely chose to give voluntary service. We needed to do just more than signing and having the post-nominal JP behind your name. And I say that and won't repeat it, because you know what happens? You are here and commit yourself to service. But after a few months, when my office tries to find you, often sometimes we can't find you. You don't offer your service. And I'm sure our minister maybe will expand on that. And I don't want to take up his time, but as your custos, I'm allowed to say a few words to you as well. So we have various committees here in the parish of Kingston that you can enlist a service. And, you know, oftentimes I look on the forms and I think it has about 8 or 9 areas for which you can offer your service, right? And oftentimes I have JPs ticking all of them. And I caution them sometimes to say, you haven't got to tick all of them. Just tick the one that you think you'll have time to offer your service. Yes. Because we have the forms in our office, ticked off, 8, 9 of them ticked off, willing to do this, that, and the other. And we form committees and you put a name down, and then when we try to find you, you're not available. And it's not onerous. Just do the ones that you can. It's very important. I won't even go to the various areas. I think the minister will maybe dwell on some of those. But we have various committees, deportees, as mentioned by our chairman. We have lockup visitation. I was at the central lockup last week, myself and the chairman, last week, Thursday. And we took the opportunity of walking this cell, walking the areas where the people were. And I think it's an experience that some of you should have. I think it leaves indelible memories in your mind. One thing that struck us was the fact that there were over 300 inmates at Central. Most of them did not exceed 30 years old. But one thing was obvious was that they all look very brown. That's true, Chairman. I was amazed at how they gather so many brown people in one place. But then I discovered that lack of light and sunlight does make your complexion look different. I was a little perplexed that all of these cells that I visited, all faces I saw was brown, and there was no reason for them to bleach. But some of these are some of the services that JPs will have to do, but we went there to find out all those persons who were there who were arrested under reasonable suspicion and maybe not charged. And so we want to ensure that the lockup complies with the regulation that you should not hold somebody beyond a certain number of hours before you charge them. And Minister, I don't know if you have anything to do with the budget, but when we visited, we were appalled that the cells there had more than the quota. There was one cell we saw, Chairman, that had 12 persons in this 6x4 cell. And there was not enough concrete mound there for them to sleep on, because that's all they have. They had to find how they sleep on the floor. But worse than that, there was a term which they used, which I cannot recall, but it meant that they would like more opportunities to use the, what do you call it? A nice term? The toilet. I think you understand that. Because it is only one time per day they had an opportunity to do it, in the daytime. And every cell we went to, that was what was the cry. The men there, once they had an urge after the midday let out, they suffered the indignity of having to release themselves in the cell, among the others. The ladies can tell you that we don't know how we handle that, but that was the cry for most of the cell, people in the cell. I say this to let you know that you're called to serve in those ways of trying to make sure that some basic human rights are not violated. That is not even an abuse of right, it's an abuse of someone's dignity. So you might be saying that this looks like a full-time job. It's not. It's a commitment to give a small part of your time that can and will make a big difference in the life of others, and doing your part to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Keep the camaraderie going and the relationship that you have fostered. I know that there are some group activities. Even if the camaraderie was through viral means, keep in touch with each other. And please don't change your phone numbers and email addresses without telling us at the office, because we want to keep in touch. I will try as best as I can to put your contact details on my gadgets so I can talk with you. I hadn't had much interaction with you before you're trained, but we'll see exactly how we can make amends to that by having groups from time to time. I consider you an outstanding and diverse set of individuals about to be added to my role of Justice of the Peace for the parish of Kingston. Live the things you have been taught. Hold your heads high, and let the parish of Kingston and Jamaica be proud of you. God bless you all, and God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Thank you, Sir Fuller. I would like to welcome the Honorable Mrs. Justice Sonia Bertram Linton, and I am sure you feel about her being your teacher as much as she is feeling proud of you all as her students. Let us give her a warm welcome. I'm going to ask those who came in after the ceremony started to just find your seats. We'll give you a few moments to find your seats. Okay. And now, I'm going to ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence in remembering the person who was elected to be chairman for this year and who has now passed, Reverend Daval Bell. May his soul rest in peace. You may be seated. I was asked by our minister to adjust the program because he wants to address you after you have officially become a Justice of the Peace. So at this time, we will have our JPs taking the oath of office and the oath of allegiance.
Okay, you would have determined whether you wish to take the oath. Whether you need to swear or affirm, that is. There are some persons who will swear and some people who will affirm. So you see, this is not a simple situation. You are taking it by oath, or you are going to affirm. And you'd already been provided with the documents with each of these. It would be better to have all of you doing it individually so we can see you standing and take your photograph saying it. But because it is so many of us, and it would take so much time for us to do it, we are going to do it in groups. So there's those persons who are going to swear. There's the oath of office and oath of allegiance. I'm going to ask you to stand now. Those people who are swearing. That means you'd have a Bible, which you're going to hold in your right hand. Okay, so you're going to hold your Bible in your right hand and try and hold your Bible not down here, but at least that level. So there's a space on the form that you have, and you're going to fill your name into it. So we'll go after 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. I
swear I will well and truly serve the people of Jamaica with the office of Kingston, and I will do right to all and the law and the laws and the duties of fear or favor, affection or ill will, so help me God.
That was the oath of office. Now we're going to go to the oath of allegiance after 3. 1, 2, 3.
I swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will continuously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica, so help me God.
Good. Thank you very much. You may be seated. And ask those who are affirming to stand. After 3 for the oath of office, put up your right hand. After 3, 1, 2, 3. After 3 for the oath of allegiance, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You be seated.
I now invite, we have a little change in the program. our minister would like to speak after you have officially become JPs. So we'll now invite JP Malik Kellier to come and be our orator for today.
All right, good morning, everyone. You can go around. Now is the time to fix your clothes, wipe the sweat from your face, reapply your makeup if you need to. It's time to be ready for your photograph. Go right around. Ready? Ready. Honorable Stedman Arthur Ridout Fuller, Member of the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander, Justice of the Peace, Custos Rotalorum for the Parish of Kingston, and Acting Governor General. The names that are about to be called are those persons who, having completed the requisite number of hours for training in accordance with law, and by their oaths and affirmations here today, are now Justices of the Peace. Please welcome them into our Kingston community. Althea Allen. Lisa Bailey. Keep the clapping going. You set them up. Set them up. Lorraine Barnes. Mohammed Basir. Nordia Bentley. Rochelle Bernard. Othaniel Biggerstaff. Colleagues, just walk with your pens only. And when you're getting to Custos to take your picture, hide the pens. You don't want the pen in your picture. Damian Black. Kevin Blair. Brooks is next. Shelley, hold on. Brooks is next. You may see him on your TV at CVM at sunrise, Dennis Brooks. Marlene Brooks Sinclair. Janelda Brown. Can you help them? Kevin Brown. Melissa Brown Morgan. Arnetta Buckridge. Costas, I can be a little biased. This is my HR manager. Beverly Campbell. Desmond Campbell. Marie Carter Robbins. Candidates, remember you're signing 2 places on the writ. You put your pen away when you come to receive from the custos. Omar Kovo. Patrick Crawford. Carlene Davis. I don't think this one is the singer. Can you sing, Miss Davis? You have to bust that tune for us later.
Sing before you leave.
Okay.
Congratulations. Yes.
Andre Dennis. Simone Dolphy.
Welcome, sir. Congratulations.
The audience sound hungry. Clap a little life now. Chantal Dormo. Demar Dryden. Simone Dunbar.
Congratulations, sir.
Michael Edwards. Keith Eubanks.
Congratulations, sir. Welcome.
Errol Gardner. Sasha Gay Hamilton.
Hamilton, congratulations. Welcome to the question.
Camille Jackson. Neela James.
James, congratulations. Welcome to the party, please.
Tanisha James. Nicola Jones. Carol Jones Russell. Pens only. Romaine Kenton. And Custos and Mrs. Cook, you may remember this one is the Governor General's Achievement Awardee for the parish of Kingston, Romaine Kenton. Aletha Latry. Aletha Latry. So this section not clapping. And this section not clapping. Colleagues, remember you're signing 2 places on the writ. And you put the pen away before you come for your certificate from the custos. Akeem Lawrence. Erica Lawrence. Richard Lawrence. Janoy Leith. Nikisha Levy Wright. This one, Custos, is my secretary. Sunita Manchan. Ellen Matthews. Vivian Maxfield.
Congratulations, sir.
This is Mr. Short Time. This one is Mr. Short Time. Andre MacDonald.
Congratulations, sir. When I go for what's good, just like.
Short time. Mr. Short Time, I know I remember the face. O'Shane Mackenzie. Clearly he has a fan club.
Is it as famous as this suit?
Debbie Meek.
Congratulations. Welcome to the party of Kingston.
Joseph Mills. Perlina Mitchell.
Brother Joseph, congratulations, sir. Welcome to the camera.
Orville Morgan. Marjorinita. Nico Pagan. This one is my batchmate, Costas.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Pagan.
Who works
You're
there?
right. Congratulations. She's okay cheering. Yes, she is.
Tina Petgrave.
Latino. Good evening. Congratulations.
Shanice Reed Stewart.
Denise, congratulations. Yes, to the camera.
Charmaine Ricketts.
They're going to fun cover on this page. Congratulations.
Kamika Ricketts Brissett.
Amika, congratulations.
Sheldon Rose. Ellen Ritchie.
Of course, of course. Congratulations.
Matthew Sinclair. Adolphus Smith. Patrick Sterling.
It means brother in Greek.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, this is a thing forever. You do it. Finally, yes.
Michael Stewart. Sylvia Stewart. Thais Stewart. Diana Taft. Thais Stewart. Diana Taft. Okay. Francesca Tavares. Al Taylor. Hugh Roy Thomas. Tasha K. Tasha K. Tasha K. Thompson. Michelle Thompson Nugent. Crystal Williams. Francis Walters Tavares. Owen Williams. Israel Wilson.
Israel, Wellington. Congratulations.
Vietnam? What else will you Okay.
We're going to do something that is not usual, and we hope that we don't have to do this again. I was persuaded to do this because every morning I ask the Lord to forgive me and assist me in forgiving others. And we're going to ask 3 persons who came late to come forward, and we'll do their oath of allegiance, and then we will continue after that. So we are going to ask them to come forward, 3 persons. When call out them names, so you can cut your eye after them if you want to do that. Michael McCarthy, Zane, Ann Parks, and Desmond Campbell. Where's Desmond?
Where are they? Where are they? That's 2. You said 3.
Where's the 3rd person? Michelle Williams Roberts, yes.
You did this 3?
Yes.
Okay, is it that they're going to swear? All right. This is unusual. Whenever anybody comes to these occasions late, they are put for the next commissioning. But it's a season of good cheer. I'm told that we will do it. So the person who is going to swear, can you just come right here? Hold the Bible in your right hand. And you both are going to swear? Yes, sir. All right, so you've got a form to read from? All right. We'll also have them to do the cleanup after we're finished here as well. Okay, you have an oath of office there, an oath of allegiance. And where you see this space, when you start to read, you put your name in there. So after 3, 1, 2, 3.
I, Michael McCarthy, do swear that I will well and truly serve in the office.
Excuse me, quiet please.
In the office of Justice of the Peace for the parish of Kingston, and I will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of Jamaica, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
Thank you. They are going to continue, but I'm going to ask you to be silent, to be quiet. I used to be a teacher, you know, and I used to scold people whenever they do not listen. So I want you to keep quiet while they do the oath of allegiance. Go ahead.
I, Michael McCarthy, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Okay, thank you. You can just get over there to join the queue for your name. Okay, so we'll have, we're doing the affirmation. So you can start, put your name where you see the space. After and hold up your right hand. Yes. Yes, go ahead.
I, Zane and Parks, do declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve the people of Jamaica in the office of Justice of the Peace for the parish of Kingston, and I will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of Jamaica without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
Thank you. Can you do the oath of allegiance now?
Next one.
Next one.
I, Zane and Parks, do declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica.
Thank you. Can you just join the queue to go and do collect the instruments?
Thank you, Costos. Leave the paper on the desk. Michael McClarty. Michelle Williams Roberts. Zane Ann Parks. Costas Rotalorum for the parish of Kingston. On my count, from today's commissioning, you have officially welcomed 80 new justices of the peace to the parish of Kingston. Congratulations. Congratulations.
So now I'm going to invite Dr. Paulette Francis McGregor, JP, past President, Justices of the Peace of Jamaica, Kingston, to introduce our guest speaker, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Masters of Ceremonies, Honorable Cynthia Cook, Deputy Governor General, Custos of Kingston, Honorable Stedman Fuller, members of the Board of Kingston, Justices of the Peace of Jamaica, Kingston Chapter. Clap yourselves. Congratulations. The Honorable Mrs. Sonia Bertram Linton, and friends and family. It is a pleasure to be given the opportunity to introduce our Honorable Delroy Chuck, KC MP, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, to you this afternoon. The Honorable Delroy Chuck has served the people of Northeast St. Andrew with distinction since the first being elected to Parliament in 1997. He has since been re-elected 6 times and now in his 7th term to continue his steadfast representation and dedication to the public. Between 2007 and 2011, Mr. Chuck served as Speaker of the House of Representatives. He was first appointed Minister of Justice in 2011 and reassigned to the portfolio in February 2016. In September 2025, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, once again reappointed him, this time as Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, to continue advancing the government's mission of building a modern, efficient, and first-class justice system. Beyond the parliamentary career, Minister Chuck has made significant contributions in academic affairs, media, and civic life. He is a former mathematician teacher and served for 2 decades as a senior lecturer in law at the University of the West Indies, UWI Mona. He has also been a portfolio columnist and constitutional lawyer, a social political person in economics, constitution, and legal issues. A proud Kingston graduate, Kingston College graduate. From 1962 to 1969, Mr. Chuck served as deputy head boy and also president of the Interact Club, and represented his school in both chess and lawn tennis. He earned a scholarship to the University of the West Indies, where he obtained an honors degree in special mathematics. In 1973, he was awarded the prestigious Jamaica Rhodes Scholar and pursued law at the St. Catherine College, University of Oxford, England. Minister Chuck is married to Gloria and is a proud father of 4 daughters, a grandfather, 2 grandsons, and 4 great-granddaughters. Outside of his public life, he enjoys playing tennis, reading widely, listening to music, and spending time with his friends and family, and spending time in Northeast St. Andrew. Let us welcome Minister Chuck. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paulette McGregor. Custos Rotalorum, Parish of Kingston, and Acting Governor General, Honorable Stedman Fuller, Chairperson, Mrs. Cynthia Cook, who reminded me I met her a couple of decades ago when she was principal of Campadone. And then also Mrs. Sonia Bertram Linton, who I have known quite a number of decades. She oftentimes reminds me that I taught her law in the Faculty of Law. So I am sure she was an outstanding instructor to you all. Definitely one of our outstanding judges who I have no doubt will serve quite a few more decades on the bench. And knowing that she did the instructions, I won't have much more to say. Just to say, please remember what Justice Sona Bertram Linton told you. Newly minted Justice of the Peace, good morning. Good morning. It is really my pleasure not only to bring you the charge, but time permitting, and I want you to have lunch at midday. I will speak on one or two national issues, especially in that new portfolio I've been given, constitutional affairs. I start out, however, by thanking all of you for coming forward to offer yourself to serve the people of Kingston. I suspect most of you are in St. Andrew anyway, and the people of St. Andrew and the people of Jamaica. In 2018, I decided that JPs should not be restricted to their parish. So in the law, I made it that you not only are a JP for your parish, but also for Jamaica. The main restriction is that if you want to serve in the lay magistrate's court, you have to serve in the parish to which you are assigned. Now, you start out in Kingston, but if you move to, say, Clarendon or Westmoreland, then you can change your attachment by informing the outgoing custos and the incoming parish custos to which you're going. Each year, we ask JPs to send in a report, not to check on you, but at least to let the custos of the parish know you live in the parish and that you're willing to serve in the parish. Now, having agreed to become a JP, we don't expect you, after your commission here today, to disappear, which frequently happens when people, once they get the title Justice of the Peace, they think it means just profiling. I am begging each of you, for heaven's sake, make that acronym JP mean something. Let it stand for your promotion of justice and peace within your family, because many families are at war. Within the neighborhood, you know many neighborhoods are at war. And in Jamaica, where we have to contend with disorder across Jamaica. It is absolutely important that you go about your task and to ensure that this office of the Justice of the Peace, to which you now belong, you not only uphold it, but you enhance its image. When people see you and see you as a Justice of the Peace, they must say, I want to be like that too. I want to be a JP too. And this is so across Jamaica. Justice of the Peace, the outstanding ones, are the ones that so many other Jamaicans want to emulate. And you must so conduct yourself that people want to emulate you. Now, if you act inappropriately, not only will they know that you can't be trusted, but you will also bring your fellow JPs into disrepute. Because once a JP acts inappropriately, people start saying, but that's how JP behave. So if you know of any JPs who are acting inappropriately, please tell the respective custos from it. And there are quite a few of them who are acting inappropriately. And when you act inappropriately, you open the door to corruption, you open the door to misbehavior, and you open the door to the tainting of your fellow JPs. So I know Justice Sona Bertram Linton emphasized the importance of unquestionable integrity. But it is for you in your heart, in your conscience, must appreciate all the wrongdoings I've been engaging in the past. I must now give up. I must put behind me. You must now move forward with a life transformed, that you're going to be a new person, if necessary, but continue on your best behavior. But most importantly, improve yourself as much as possible to be your best self. Many of you have many decades ahead of service. And each year you reflect and say, how best can I be a better person? How better can I serve the people in the communities? How better can I give a little thought to making Jamaica a better place? Because you come forward and we have appointed you as the outstanding citizens of Jamaica, not for you to go around saying I'm a justice, or for people to recognize you as a justice, but you must become a leader and to assist in guiding those around you. As a justice of the peace, people believe you're knowledgeable, that you can give advice, that you can help them, you can support them. All of these are things which the ordinary citizen will expect of you. But the custos will also demand of you certain role to be played, visiting various institutions, he mentioned it, because when you visit the jails, what you see there, if it is inappropriate, as Custos has pointed out, must be condemned, you know. When I hear Custos talking about 12 persons in a cell, these are innocent persons, you know. It should not happen. And when I hear it, I'm going to bring it to the attention of the Commissioner of Police and to the Minister of National Security and Peace, because we have to do something to ensure that that sort of indignity should not be meted out to our fellow citizens. And one of the things you should ensure, and I must tell you, the public defender is here. My good friend Carolyn is here, and I will bring it to her attention. She must, you know, the public defender, investigate what is happening in these prisons, because their human rights are being affected. And I'm saying, you too, not only within jails, but when you go around and you see the human rights of anyone being infringed, let them report it to the public defender. That's the task of the public defender, to ensure that the human rights of all Jamaicans are properly secured and protected. But as you go about your duty, I beg of you, be humble. Humility is a virtue. Know that you have JP behind your name. You don't have to say, you know who I am. Police officers tell me they stop people on the road, having their wine on the window. You know you have stopped, officer. And the police officers are quite right to say, I don't care who you are, give me your documents. I mean, the fact they're now a JP doesn't mean you should be arrogant. It's the worst thing that you can exhibit. Arrogance. Humility. Very important. But at the same time, you must be a shining light in your community. People must, when they see you, they see someone whose light shines because you're a person who is well-informed, who represents dignity and integrity. But it can only come, you know, if you drill it into your mind that not only do you have confidence in yourself, that you inform yourself well, you read widely, you disseminate proper information, you dismiss negativity, and lies and propaganda, and you, for God's sake, and you don't spread it, lies and information. Because on social media now it's so easy, you see so many little things. You don't even check if it is true, you pass it on. I beg you, before you pass on the nonsense you see on social media, just check now to see if it is true. Most of it, 90% of what is on social media is propaganda. People who are miserable and want company. Misery loves company, you know. So I'm begging you, be careful as you go about your daily lives. Each day, reflect as a leader. You must always ask, how can I assist not only myself, but in others in doing better? How can I get things done better? How can I get things done? And stop complaining about everything. In this country, seems to be a national pastime to just complain about everything. Just of the peace, we have a lot to be thankful for in Jamaica, especially in Kingston. If you ever drive to the west and see what Hurricane Melissa did to about 4 or 6 parishes, you'd cry. If you pass and see homes that were once homes but are now nothing but concrete base. And yesterday I was in St. Mary, and I was doing another commission in St. Mary yesterday. And Custos arranged for the JP Association to adopt a community in Westmoreland that they are going to be working with over the next few months. And they are going to be visiting them, that community, every now and then. And I'm going to ask you, Mrs. Cook, to see how the Kingston chapter, and I hope all 8 of you, will see how you can assist that community. Because Justice of the Peace, your first duty as a JP is to be your brother's keeper. And let this crisis that we are now in not be wasted. Let us use it to see how we can become even more unselfish in what we do. And to the extent that you can, whatever assistance, not necessarily material. Sometimes if you just go there and meet some of the families, for them to tell you, some of them just want to tell someone how they suffered, you know. Somebody to listen. If that is possible, please see what you can do to help. So I'm going to invite the Kingston chapter of the JP Association to work with one of the custos in the other parishes to see if you can adopt a community. But another possibility, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs has agreed to assist the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to assist in the assessment of damage to houses. Over 120,000 houses were damaged. Everybody say, give them assistance right away. But this government is a very prudent government. If you start giving out, you will end up giving too much to some, and some get too little, and others get none. So we have decided, Prime Minister Holness is saying, we have a lot of resources now to distribute. We want to be able to distribute and to help those who were affected badly. But before we start the distribution, do an assessment. So we know 100,000 families have been affected. How do we manage if we have $10 billion to share? How do we share it properly so that those who are suffered the worst get more? Those who have insurance may not get, or just a small donation. So in other words, we want to be able to do a full assessment. And what we're asking all JPs to volunteer fully. We're not going to pay you to be trained again to do the assessment. The assessment is what information you will take when you visit a home, the names of the families and so on. So within a week or two, we want to say those JPs who are offered to assist with the assessment. They can go in pairs. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security will assign them to different communities where they can do an assessment of 10, 20 houses. And then that will be put in the database. We can do with ABCD in terms of the damage to each property. So then we can work out how much do we give to A, B, C, and D, and E. You understand? I'm not saying that everyone can, but those who are able and can afford a few days to go into the devastated areas, and let me say, it's not only devastation, you know, it's decimation, what in the West. So to the extent that you can assist, please do. Also, this afternoon, we do regular sensitization of all JPs. Monthly, we do, you know, sensitize JPs, informing them wide variety of things. How they Registrar General, Administrator General, government services. And this evening at 5:30, we'll try to give you the link. You can get on the link, and the NHT has a program after Melissa, the support options for NHT homeowners. So that is useful information if you know of any homeowner in the West who has been damaged. Then what is happening? The NHT, to the best of my knowledge, those who have been affected, once you're an NHT owner, you have insurance. But in the short term, maybe a short, immediate grant so they can start to do some repairs until the insurance money comes to fix their property. So these are things which right now is the main concern of the government. How do we restore and get back the people who have been badly affected back on their feet, and also to get the economy going again? Because if you don't get the economy going again, we are going to give a generator to as many small mom and pop shop in the hills so that they can start their business. We are going to give persons who have been affected coupons. We are to stop the handout of the packages. You get coupons and you can go to the mom and pop shops and purchase, because we want to get back to some form of normality early in the new year. And to the extent just of the piece that you can assist, I urge you, see what you can do. I'm not saying that everyone can. But in closing my charge to you, I beg of you, see yourself as someone who can be of assistance, not only within your family, but within the wider community. But there are many other duties which I ask that you undertake. In the ministry, we have several programs which you must know about. Alternative dispute resolution. Many of you have heard of restorative justice. Do you know what that is? Many of you have heard of mediation. Would you like to be a mediator? Many of you have heard of victim services. And this is very important, victim services. The data reveal that perhaps 4 in 10 families, there are instances of domestic abuse. Very sad. Man beating woman, woman fighting back and beating up man. So there are victims within the home. Rather than causing that to escalate, we are going to urge your JPs, if you know of it, tell them to go to the Victim Services Office, and we have one in every parish. A certain amount of counseling is provided, but we urge the parties to try to go to restorative justice so that they can heal the harm, the wound, and restore their relationship. Then we have child diversion. Unfortunately, we have thousands of kids who really need guidance, support, mentoring. And the best people to assist them are you, the JPs. So I'm going to beg as many of you, we are now urging more persons to become mentors, more JPs, because many JPs, if you talk to them who have been mentors, it is a satisfactory opportunity to assist a youngster who has gone wayward and needs some guidance. And believe me, the program has been extremely successful since it started. The judges want to refer more children away from the criminal justice system into mentoring. And the success rate, once they participate and agree to participate, is way over 80%. And the youngsters, when I meet them at the ministry, to hear of their experience, I'm telling you, tears come to your eyes when they tell you how happy they are that they were able to meet with their mentors regularly. Because for the first time, they're now seeing the light. I said, what do you mean? Well, I never want to live in a slum, but I'm now seeing the light that I can be somebody because of the mentoring and the direction that that mentor has given. Many of them don't want to leave the engagement with the mentor. They want to continue. So in fact, a lot of JPs still, even after they go back to court and the courts say yes, the child is now on the right path, they still continue with the mentor. But sadly, Joseph the P, we have a lot of children who have no parental support, get into bad company in the corners. The dons are trying to use them in various wayward ways, and they need some guidance. So those persons who want to do mentorship, please participate and be trained as much as possible, not as a lifetime occupation, but if you can even mentor one or two children, please participate if you can. And next year, I'm going to be promoting alternative dispute resolution, which some of these are some of the areas that I would like more GPs to participate in. But it's very important for us to get people to live together, because life is about disagreement. You don't agree all the time. But disputes don't have to become abusive and abrasive, and before you know it, violence comes in, and before you know it, killing takes place. Simple disputes, minor disagreements need to be resolved by talking it out before you start fighting. And that is where we want to be able to inculcate and indoctrinate right across every nook and cranny of Jamaica. There are alternative ways to resolve disputes, better means to put disagreements behind you. But nowadays, sadly, people believe that the only way to resolve dispute is by pulling a gun, threatening one another, and before you know it, a killing or violence takes place. We're very happy in the last 3 years or so, there has been a significant reduction in murders. And I feel that murders reflect the moral environment within our country. 2023, the murders went down by 9%. In 2024, went down by 19%. And this year so far, 42 point, up to yesterday, 42.6%, which is fantastic. But we have a far way to go. Up to yesterday, there were 621 murders committed, compared to a similar period of just under 1,100 murders the same time last year. So there are 461 murders less this year up to yesterday. But still 621 murders. That's human lives, you know. Lives which have the future ahead of them, but cut short by killers. We have to do something about it. Right across Jamaica. I getting older, you know. But I would like, before I leave this earth, to see Jamaica having a annual murder rate below 100. And it is possible. If all Jamaicans will just stand up and speak out against wrongdoing, all form of wrongdoings. Speak out against the guns that are being filtered across communities. And let it be known that we don't tolerate violence and any form of violence. If we can do that and not be afraid to speak out, and I'm not asking you to be like me, an informer. I'm the biggest informer, you know. When I walk around Grand Spen, Barbican, I tell them, I am the informer. I want to know who is the bad man. And over the decades, I've met them and tell them it cannot work. And if I know you have a gun, I'm going to report it. And that is how we have been able to keep down your quiet, you know. Because I go around there and say, I'm not a policeman, but I'm going to tell the police that you have a gun. And many times, no sir, not true, not true. But eventually, because you get information, you know that they have a gun. And the police on many occasions have been able to pick up these guns. We have to be bold and brave. If you know of wrongdoing, be prepared to expose it. Because unless we do, wrongdoing will continue. So I'm going to beg you, justice of the peace. Don't misinform and don't label people if you don't know the truth. And if someone come and tell you that they know that person is engaged, be careful before you repeat it. When I started out in Grand Spen, everybody says me bring guns here. I remember going on a conference, sitting down, and I don't think it matters to me, to him. Well, he's now dead, but he was the Swiss ambassador, Swiss attaché in Jamaica. And we were sitting down in Switzerland, and he said, you know, I'm sitting here with you, but the image I have of you is you handing out guns in Grand Spen. I said, well, why do you have that image of me? He says, my gardener tells me that he knows that it's me who hand out the guns to the people in Grand Spen. I said, that's funny. So you didn't tell him to report it to the police? Well, you tell him whenever he sees me handing out guns, he should tell the police. But I said to him, Peter, I'm worried about your gardener. I'm worried about your gardener because these hands and these pockets have no connection with guns. Right? But it's not for you to believe it. It's for you to do your own assessment. So I don't have a problem. People making adverse comments about me. And I say the same too. What is important is that you know yourself. Don't worry about what... You can't stop people from thinking stupidly or adversely about you. Once you know that you're living a life of uprightness, that you have character, reputation is unimportant. Because if you're a person of character, people can say anything. It don't bother you because you know who you are. People are bothered when people say things about them. But if you know yourself, you dismiss it. And believe me, if you allow yourself to be labeled, then you're going to have a disappointing life. Because people will always label you. So what is more important is for you to know yourself and to stand up for what is right. And if you stand up for what is right and good, you need not worry what people think. So that I urge you, bear that in mind as you go about your daily business. You know, politics is a funny occupation. You wonder, why have I been in it for almost, well, over 28 years? Coming towards the end now. But I enjoy it. Because I go about, I don't want $1 from politics. But I go about and I try to help as best as you can. But the more you're helping them, the more they tell you how mean you are. And the more you help, the more they think you can help more. So the end result of it is that there's a never-ending demand for more. We have a problem in this country where people believe that others must take care of them, that the state must take care of them from the cradle to the grave. It can't work. We need more people who can assist others rather than more than the majority of persons now who believe that they can get something from you. And believe me, newly minted JPs, don't go around doing things for people and expecting them to tell you thanks. You'll be very disappointed. When you do things, do it because you want to do it. You do it as a part of your unselfish service. And if they tell you thanks, be surprised. Many of them just feel you must do it. But don't expect it. If they tell you thanks, fine. But just do it because you feel that it is your duty and you want to do it. And believe me, you will be blessed for that unselfish act that you do for others. Now, as I say, the politics is very funny because you go there and rarely do you get a thank you, but it doesn't matter. All these people, the thank you is all, if they thank you, they say, what more can you do? Anyway, after the last general election, which is amazing, just over 2 months ago, the Prime Minister asked me to take on constitutional affairs. Now, I have always been in constitutional matters, you know, and I thought this is a good thing. Not that, you know, it wasn't being done, but I said, let me see how quickly I can get some of these changes done. So immediately I told the Prime Minister, I'm going to drop the leader of the opposition, who took on the portfolio of constitutional affairs. And I said, let me drop in a line, because I think Mark is a bright fellow, and I know I'm not too dunce. So let the two of us meet and see if we can sort this thing out. He said, before you do it, let me just drop him a line and say you're going to meet him. So he sent off his letter. I sent off my letter almost a day after. Mark said, no, he don't want to meet with me. He wants to meet with the Prime Minister. I don't have a problem. But we need to get this thing going. I'm publicly calling on Mark. Let us get the changes that we require in the Constitution going. I have been involved in it for nearly 40 years. Before I entered politics, the Vice Chancellor of the university asked me to sit on the 91 Constitutional Commission, 91-92, that was set up by the then PNP government to sit and look at constitutional reform. So I was a representative from the University of the West Indies. There I was a lecturer there. We met many times. We had many recommendations. Mr. Siago was not happy. He said we need to look at the Bill of Rights So we set up another a continuing commission chaired by Lord Barnett. The first one was Justice Carr, had a whole heap of recommendations. So the Bill of Rights, Charter of Rights, we agreed on in '93, did not come into being until 2011, 2011. And because it could not come into operation until both parties agree. So after some minor tweeting, both parties agree, and it came forward in 2011. But from 1992-93, we agreed that we must remove the monarchy and become a republic. In the debate that I participated near 30 odd years ago, nearly 40 years ago, the PNP's position at the time was an executive presidency. The JLP has always felt we should have a ceremonial president and have a parliamentary system of government rather than a presidential system of government. Lord Barnett, those of you who read his articles a couple of weeks ago, will see why he himself favored the parliamentary system of government. I've always favored the parliamentary system of government. And I wrote many articles in the 90s why the parliamentary system of government is the better form of government. So the PNP from '93 agreed to support the parliamentary system of government. And since then, we agreed that we should move forward with a ceremonial president. You're talking 30 odd years in. And so I thought, when my predecessor, Marlene Malulu Fort, that it was easy, let's go forward with the Republican status right away. But the opposition and the PNP felt that they're not going to go forward at the last moment, I must tell you, unless we change to the CCJ. We adopt the CCJ. So this is now holding back movements in constitutional reform. I say to Mark publicly, we are agreed on a parliamentary system of government, a ceremonial presidency. That is the one agreement so far that we have. Let us move forward with it. Because, JPs, if we don't do it over the next 2 years, it's not going to happen until after 2030. Because it needs a referendum. And if 2028 comes and we don't do it, no government, including this one, is going to have a referendum before the general election. Because whatever happens, it will send the wrong signal. Do you understand? So I say to all Jamaica to encourage the leader of the opposition, to encourage the PNP, let us settle and remove the monarchy within the next 2 years so we can change to a Republican status within a parliamentary system of government. And while we change the bill and late in Parliament, hopefully early next year, we can have the referendum by 2027, where the people of the country will make that decision, because we have to go to convince the people that what we are doing is correct. But the people can vote no, you know. And then we're back to square one. But we are prepared. I am prepared, and I'm sure everyone who knows about this are prepared to say, let's go with the parliamentary system of government, which is a system we have now. It is not a perfect system. In fact, it is the worst form of government, except for the others. You understand that? It's the worst form of government, except for the others. The others don't make sense. They don't work. You can see it in the United States. You see it in Latin American nation. Every country that has a presidential system of government have fought civil war. Every country that has adopted the presidential system of government has had a civil war. And Oftentimes, especially in Latin America, when the legislature and the president can't get along, the military has to take over. While the parliamentary system of government practiced in most of the European countries across the Commonwealth is a stable form of government, not the greatest form of government. I say that it has many weaknesses, but it is at least a stable form of government. Sure, when it comes to other changes in the Constitution, including what should be the final court for Jamaica, we can debate that too. But let us start out with what we have agreed on. Let us try to tell the people of Jamaica why we are doing it and why, when the referendum comes, you should support it. And that should start early next year so it can be dealt with in 2027. If it's not done next year, we are going to have difficulty getting it done in this term of the present Parliament. There are many other matters to be considered. Should we have fixed terms? Should we have fixed dates of election? Should we have all of these changes need to be looked at for the people to assist the government in making a determination? So just of the peace, I know many of you enjoy being in the cocoon of your veranda. You don't like to disturb, but you have to start thinking about national affairs because it does affect you in some ways. So think about how you can participate in national discussions. Towards this end, I beg you to be very active in the JP Association. Set up little discussion groups whenever matters of national affairs come about. You alone have ideas, but in a democracy, listen to the other side. Change your opinion if you're convinced that your opinion is wrong. A democracy is about the clash, the competition of ideas. It's very important for you to participate in that. So please, in every way, be a light within the JP Association, within your community. Lift yourself, lift your family, lift your neighborhood, and help in lifting Jamaica. And be that shining light so that others may see your good works and glorify our Father who is in heaven. Okay.
Thank you, Minister Chuck. I must say, we have a project for hurricane relief, and our Custos has already spoken to the Custos of Westmoreland. But I was waiting until closing remarks when I tell you all the things that we are doing. Now that you have officially become a Kingston JP, we can tell you what all your responsibilities are and your obligations. So I am going to ask the JP, you notice we are going to say Mr. Dennis Brooks, JP, to come forward and do the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Mrs. Cynthia Cook, Honorable Stedman Fuller, Acting Governor General and Custos Rotolorum of Kingston, Honorable Delroy Chuck, King's Counsel, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Mrs. Cynthia Cook, the Interim Chair of the Justices of the Peace, Kingston Association, Dr. Paulette Francis McGregor, past President. I see the Public Defender, Carolyn Reed Cameron, King's Counsel, is here. Distinguished guests, all fellow justices, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The task has fallen to me to speak on behalf of a cadre of justices who are more than capable of speaking for themselves. And so I am honored to speak on behalf of you, and I treat this with a great deal of responsibility. Now, I can assure you I will be brief. The day is far spent, and we have work to do because the work begins today. And for many of us here, this is the culmination of a long process in itself. And I'm not speaking about the application process that began in this very room. I can speak for myself. The first time I collected a form, a JP application form, I think was in 2012. And I, for one reason or another, never finished the process. And for finishing the process, I must commend my wife, Mrs. Susan Wilson Brooks, who is a JP, for getting me to submit the form. Thank you very much, ma'am. Put your hands together for her. But many of us would have had memories of who a JP was, who a JP looked like. And for many of us, that image was a very old person in some remote place, some very, very many instances, hard to find. And I thank the Ministry of Justice, the Minister of Justice, and the approach that has been taken of modernizing the role of the JP, modernizing the presence of the JP in society, and reintroducing people to the importance of becoming a JP, which is what attracted many of us to be here today. I think it's very important. Our chair quite rightly reminded us that a commissioning is a bestowing one with authority. And so I must say thank you for the authority which has been bestowed upon us today. We are seized with the importance and the responsibility that comes with that authority, and we commit to using that authority in the right and proper way. Custis Fuller gave us a very sober reminder of the seriousness of the fraternity into which we have entered. And he said that we are at the forefront of the fight against crime, and we are pillars, we are foundational elements of the delivery of justice. And that, I think, is so important for us to remember. At this time, I'd like to say a special thank you, and I'd like us to put our hands together for our trainers. The Honorable Justice Sonia Bertram Linton, Master Tamara Dickens, who both in their own unique ways have put us through our paces, ensured that we learn the legislation and learn the rules and the functions and how to guard this office with, our lives. And so we indeed will continue to do so. And we will go beyond the dramatizations that we all participated in into real life. Minister Chuck, as I said, you remind us to be humble, to not become arrogant, to be shining lights and worthy of emulation, that someone else might look at us and say, I want to be that. And so as a result of that, we take this so seriously, and we will go forward. I heard you mention, and I must say, about the importance of advocating for, the state of lockups, and you mentioned the public defender and, what you'd be encouraging her to do. I must say, I know Carolyn Reed Cameron very well, and she is a proverbial thorn in the flesh of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, but in a very good way, because she has been advocating, and I'm certain that she has now a number of new advocates on her behalf as well to work through the process, as some of us will go into that area. And so again, I'd like to say a special thank you to the entire Ministry of Justice, the Justice Training Institute, and the Office of the Custis of Kingston for administering this process from the beginning to the end. Thank you very much as well. And so the only thing I have left to say is that we will not be just profiling. We will be justices of the peace in word and in deed. The charge has been given, we accept it. The commission is complete, and we will now walk in it. The real work begins today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. You are most welcome. First of all, I would like to have a little bit of housekeeping. The pins are at the back. You can purchase pins. Please speak to JP Malik. Make sure he has your email address and your WhatsApp so that he can put you on the link. Now, just Minister Chuck mentioned some of the areas that you can sign up for from his ministry. I can tell you the one that I like best of all is restorative justice. I remember a couple ended up in court because the neighbors in the tenement yard, you know, you can hear, because the man prayed too loud. But we settled that. Now, we have so many outreach programs for Kingston and St. Anne, for Kingston Justices of the Peace. So we have a number of fundraising activities, obviously. So we have a puppy concert every year. Every year, so listen out for that. We need your support to purchase, just to purchase some tickets and sell some tickets. And if you can participate, then we need your item, and we usually have big, elaborate, top of the line event. Everybody will like it. We also have Labor Day activities that we have to spend money on, so we collect again. We have a health fair in July, big health fair for the people in the community and children all over who are going back to school. We have a very large team of medical personnel who will participate, and everybody who wants something to check out health-wise, you can go to the health fair, and we're going to beg you to support that again. We have a fish fry. The fish fry is May, our fish fry. There we would like to raise enough funds to help to offset the expenses of our outreach program. So we are asking you to support it. And the event that the Custos keeps dear to his chest is his baby, that. The Family Fun Day at the Tower Street Correctional Center. And also we do a mini one at the Female Center at Camp Road. But the Christmas Family Fun Day, we invite relatives, especially children of inmates who are there, and they come and we treat the children to concert activities where they bounce about, pictures, we give them food, and they go and visit their relative, give them a little hug and take pictures and that sort of thing. And we would like everybody to support that. This year, we're just going to give them care packages because we also have the hurricane relief efforts, and so we beg again. So we want everybody to contribute to the Christmas Family Fun Day. And we want people to volunteer their services next year, not this year, so that the children can have a really good fun day. Our treasurer is here, so you can, you know, sometimes you just have a little small change in your purse and you didn't plan for it right now. So you can just leave it here today, and we will receive it in the same way that you are giving it. We also want to remind you of our annual general meeting, which is usually held in February, and we want everybody to participate in that. We don't want a chairman to be elected and you say, but me not like him, me never know him. Come and vote. for the person you think is okay. And we have a nomination period, and if you feel that you want to be nominated, you can put up yourself if you think you are a leader of that kind, but you have to be a JP for a number of years for each of the positions. So, but we want you to participate and feel a part of the Justices of the Peace Kingston Association. Make I tell you a little secret. Minister Chuck will not tell you, but everybody wants to be a part of Kingston JP. You hear it too? You hear it in the grapevine. Yes, I hear it. And everybody wants to be a part of the Kingston JP. If they live in St. Ange, if they live in Portmore, anywhere they live, they say they hear say, Kingston JP have the vibes. We have the good vibes. And so we want you to spread the word. And so when they see you, as he said, let them see your good works and glorify. All right. So I am going to say the same thing again. There's a place up there for people like you. Yes. All right. So we won't see each other again before Christmas. So I will say, have yourselves a merry little Christmas. May your day be bright. Okay. So now we have come to the close, and we are going to stand for the national anthem, and we are going to ask you to remain in your seats until the party at the head leaves. So, Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil paths. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to cherish. Give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Thank you. Ask the party at the front. I almost asked the public defender to sing the national anthem.